not just about just the releasing of the emotion. It's about the gift that's buried in the shadow.
Oh, absolutely.
And that's the beauty of it. That's the beauty of it. It's shadow work. You receive something greater through doing it. A greater aspect of yourself, a greater aspect of your divinity. And so that's why, I think it's such incredible work. When I worked with anger, and I kept finding all this anger in me that I wanted to repress, the more I opened to it, let me take a step back. I had a psychological nature where I struggled with unworthiness my whole life. I was eternally apologizing for my existence anywhere I went. My teacher used to say to me, Craig, quit apologizing. Quit saying you're sorry. And I'd be like, oh, sorry. You just did it again. Quit it. Craig, own your truth. Stand in your truth. And what I had to do is, I would try to stand in my truth, but I was on shaky ground because I didn't have all my energy. There was energy that was just busy repressing my anger. But it was through giving myself permission to walk through the doorway of anger, to own my anger, to acknowledge, there's so much, there's so much anger here. There's so much feeling. When I started to acknowledge that there's so much anger here, it's funny, that feeling of being unworthy started to grow into, I actually am worthy. I'm worthy of having a voice. I'm worthy of having a space here on planet Earth. I'm worthy of my own divinity. I'm worthy of speaking the truth. I'm worthy of having an opinion. But I had to walk through that doorway of anger first. And that can be a messy process, because oftentimes when we walk through the doorway of anger, when we do shadow work with anger, oftentimes we run our mouth a little bit too much. And that's actually necessary in the beginning, just to help that energy start to empty out of us. But then eventually what we're left with, is what the Buddha called swift discerning wisdom. When you're totally comfortable with your own anger, oftentimes anger doesn't come out in a real, fierce way where we're making a fool of ourselves. Often it comes out in a way that's just like swift and discerning, like, hey, this needs to happen. And you're much more embodied.